Hey everybody, Brian the Wild Armenian Rat Ride Carport Builder, whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me late for lunch, and if you do, don't feed me. Heaven knows, I just had two tuna fish sandwiches, popcorn, and a couple pieces of candy. Now, that's getting outrageous. I'm going to have to stop that. You get about my age, 64 years old, you start knowing what gravity's about. So we're going to have to really work on that. I'm going to work on that one day at a time. Man, that's all the Lord gives me, one day at a time. And that's for sure. And speaking about one day at a time, well, I promised y'all I'd have this front clip off, and I did almost one part, which would be the radiator core support. Now, this radiator core support actually acts like the main support for the front clip. Everything rides on that. And you're talking a lot of weight. The inner and outer fenders are very heavy. And, well, I know they had this front clip off to put that 302 in. And I've seen a lot of tips, and the bolts are very easy to get off, I'll tell you. I didn't have a fight near one. Now, if you notice these two bolts here for the radiator core support, these are just some regular bolts they might have got from the hardware store, auto parts store, but from the factories, these should be spring loaded, and there would have been a spring up under here. And this thing should be wobbly. I mean, you should be able to take it and wiggle it back and forth. And that's the way it was in factory. On the bolt, they would use castle nuts with cutter keys, so the nuts wouldn't back out. And that's the way it was from Ford Motor Company. Well, they rigid this thing, which I shouldn't have really done, because the rest of the body is on rubber, and they also have a link system on the cab, and that allows the cab to flex. And well, it all stopped here, and I'm surprised. Of course, the fenders weren't really pretty bad, rusted up pretty bad. So, but I'm surprised that they didn't have any wrinkling of the cab or anything, or any structural damage that I see so far. Remember the old battery tray here that somebody built? They did a really good job. I mean, I tell you, my hat's off to them. I mean, it works. What the heck? I don't know. You put some paint on it, it'll look pretty too. Grind it down a little bit, smooth it. I'm going to keep that for a project down the road. That's for sure. I'll use it for something, not this truck, but I will use it for another project. I'm not going to throw it away. I'll throw it in my scrap pile. Something bummer, like I already got enough work to do on this cab, but somebody went and cut out at one time this hole. Why, I don't know. There's this patch, and it's galvanized metal, a piece of tin, I guess, and they screwed it all in and siliconed it. Why, I don't know. But something tells me that whoever put the 302 didn't do it, because that's where that battery tray was, if you remember. And it's mounted like a Chevy truck would have been these years, 50, 51, 48, I'm sure. But the Ford originally had the battery coming up here, the frame, battery tray, I'm sorry, the brackets, and it would have been like so far, and the battery sat here on the flathead 8s. That's on the flathead 8. 6-cylinder was different. Flathead 6 was different. But there you go. There's their motor mounts they cobbed for the old 302, which they did. They did okay. I mean, it worked. They're not broken. And it looks to me like they've used this motor. They put it in service. It worked. And I found out this is a 302. I think I was right. It's a 70s model. It's 1972 302. I found it on the sticker. Definitely a 72. See there? And it's a 302. Engine family there. You can't hardly make it out, but it's in there. Engine family. So it's a 72. So it's old school fuel pump where they had the filter on the bottom, which is cool. Semi trucks are like that. Been like that. And there's that proportioning valve. That ain't factory. That's they did. And like I said, there again, it tells me they used it it came out of a pickup truck. And Now on these, I've been using this stuff. This is Freol. This stuff's a blessing for rusty bolts. I mean, they don't pay me to endorse this, or I don't endorse this or nothing. I just use it. I don't care. I use it. The only place I've been getting it from is O'Reilly's. I haven't tracked online to see if I could get it online, but that, you know, this is pretty stout. I move this, and it moves the whole truck and everything. So they got that in there really well. They did a good job. Now, if we can make it down to the bottom. Oh, I got this thing secure. Don't worry. Oh boy. Yeah, don't worry. So here you are. All right. And there's the hole for the mount for the master cylinder. They left me that. You can see where they cut the cross member out, and that one piece of steel going across holding the motor. The transmission mount, and they got some kind of a bracket they made, strap type, and they put a piece of rubber and make it cushion it a little bit. But they left the original cross member right there, so they did me good there. I'll figure out what I have to do. I might add up steel. Now the original opening was a little bit smaller than this, no doubt, and the original transmission mount was looked like a banana shape, rubber, and steel, and so they did shave off some metal off of this thing. And oh well, that's why I got welders and grinders and such as live. I can put it all back together. But they cobbed it pretty good. It's pretty stout. The springs I've noticed are not original. And one time these springs were replaced, and there's some bolts there through the spring perch, and they're not original. So apparently I'll have to clean those up. Those some nice springs, both sides. Somebody did some work to this at one time. The tie rod boots look pretty good shape. So, they serviced this truck. They put her back in line, and I'm guessing if it's a 72, I'm going to say 80s they did this thing, maybe early 80s, maybe late 80s, the way it looks. And it's original running gear. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me for sure. So I'm on the way, man. I'm gonna pull this engine out. Gonna try to do it this weekend, and if the Lord's willing, the creeks don't rise, I'll try to do that. And I think I've done pretty good working for it. I'm a 64-year-old man, and I've worked 40 hours this week, and I've done this on the side, so that's not bad. I'm blessed that I can do that. Thank you, Jesus. Man, I'll tell you, we're all blessed to be here. And so with that, I really appreciate you checking out my videos. Please give me a thumbs up and comments or anything like that if you want to help me out. I'd appreciate it. I would yeah, I'm sorry that my videos aren't the best and professional, homegrown, I guess. I'm a millennial, so go easy on me. I got some grandchildren that are boomers. They could probably help me out, but they got to go here and there. You know how kids are, and understand. They don't want to be around old grandpa that eats a lot of tuna fish sandwiches and makes YouTube videos working on old crusty trucks. Oh well, such is life. Okay, hey, y'all have a safe, and God bless y'all. Bye.